Good afternoon to all of you, wherever this email or video may find you. I felt it easier if I would just make a video this afternoon rather than trying to type everything out so that I can pass some information on to you as to where we will be going as the instrumental area of the Department of Music here at Dordt over the next 3 weeks and potentially the remainder of the semester. As you well know, this is not a perfect situation for any of us, whether it be those of you at home or whether it be us here on campus trying to adjust what we're doing to make this work as easily as possible. But I can assure you from the numerous meetings that I've been at over the past days that everyone here at the university, from the department level all the way up through the president and the provost of the university, is working incredibly hard to make sure that you get what you need with your education. I'm going to go over a number of things today. I'm going to ask for you to do a couple of things for me in response to this video so that we can get some information. This information is incredibly important for us to make decisions and be able to move forward in a way that is best for you as a student as well as us for the university to make sure that we're providing you the things that you have paid for as part of your education here at Dordt. I'll begin with just a short restatement of the situation we're currently in. As you know, spring break has been extended for one more week, so basically the remainder of this week spring break has been extended so that those of us here on campus can prepare ourselves to go online completely at the beginning of next week. That will continue through April 13th, and a decision will be made somewhere in the neighborhood of April 3rd, but no later than April 3rd, as to what the remainder of the semester is going to look like. All of your classes, lectures, and lessons will continue online beginning next week. So if you're taking lecture classes, if you're taking any classes that are even remotely able to be translated into an online format, those will take place next week. I will be contacting you about that if those are classes that I teach. And I will be contacting you also in conjunction with your applied faculty members that teach your private lessons if you're currently taking lessons. There'll be a little more information on that later on. Speaking of lessons, the plan currently is for lessons to continue. They will be taking place online. I'm working with our applied faculty to learn to use, install, and be ready and prepared to use a software called Zoom. Many of you may have used this here at the university for other classes, as it is something that has previously been in use, as well as those of you that are in the Wind Symphony may recall whenever we invited Matthew Maslanka to join us in rehearsal, that was the software that I used in order to have him be able to virtually be present with us. I'll be doing a video later on showing how to use that software, how to install it, and how to set it up so that you can do these things from where you're at, as well as your applied instructors can do the same. Zoom can be installed on any laptop, desktop, or smartphone. You should find an app for either an iPhone or an Android device that you can be using on your smartphone, or it's easier, in my opinion, if you have a laptop, to install it on a laptop and you can use it that way. If you have none of these things available to you, meaning you don't have a laptop, you don't have a desktop, you don't have a smartphone, please email me directly, one-on-one, and we will work to get you some sort of device that you can work on. I'm hoping that this will not affect anyone, and if it does, it'll only be one or two people. I have been told that here at the university we do have some options to move forward with for the short term in order for you to be able to do this. Now this is only going to affect you if you are currently taking private lessons this semester. So if you're studying privately with Vance Shoemaker on a low brass instrument, if you're studying with any number of our lessons professors taking individual lessons, this is where this is going to come into play. Your teachers, your private lessons instructors, will be reaching out to you. They're going to get the link to this video so they know what I've told you, as well as they will be getting another instructional video from me so that they, if they've never used Zoom, they can know how to use that. Ensembles. This is where things get dicey. As we all know, music and performing arts is an individual as well as a group effort. It's something that really can't be replicated over the internet. A few years back, Eric Whitaker, a famous choral composer, did do some virtual choir things, and in a short-term, small-scale basis, that works okay as a novelty item, but it's not something that will work regularly to replace the ensemble experience. In order for us to truly meet the requirements of what an ensemble is, a large instrumental ensemble, we need to be together in the same room with a conductor or a leader up front. So because of that, for all instrumental ensembles, that is Wind Symphony, Campus Community Band, Fourth Avenue Jazz Band, Chamber Orchestra, all of our large instrumental ensembles will not rehearse between now and April 13th. If we return to campus on April 13th, we will resume our normal rehearsal schedule, meaning Wind Symphony will be on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday as always, Campus Band on Thursday, and Chamber Orchestra on Wednesday night. If we do return to campus on April 13th, we will rehearse and we will prepare and give our final concerts as scheduled. However, they will be a very truncated fashion, meaning that we will prepare for them in the same way that we prepare for the Fall Festival, for example, where we typically will only have somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 rehearsals. The repertoire will be different than what you had been told before, and once we find out on April 3rd what is going on, whether we're coming back or not, then I will make a decision and I will figure out what we're doing at that point. Then I will get music out to you if we are returning so that we can begin rehearsals on April 13th when we return. If we do not return to campus on April 13th, all of the large instrumental ensembles will be finished with rehearsals throughout the remainder of the semester. Your grade, which is not really a grade because all of our instrumental ensembles are either pass nor no record, but what will be recorded is as if the concerts that we just gave were the final concerts of the semester. We will base those, that pass based upon us completing the semester as if it had ended at our most recent concert. For my non-music majors, those of you that are in large instrumental ensembles and you are not majoring in music, you are agriculture, nursing, engineering, any number of anythings that you are here on campus, I want you to concentrate on your major courses. During the remainder of this semester or the 3 weeks, whichever it may be, leading up to either April 13th or the end of the semester, we're in a situation where you're going to be receiving instruction differently than what your professors had planned and what you had planned. Therefore, that creates a certain amount of stress that would not have been there. I personally do not believe that it's right of me to ask of you to do things at home pertaining to a large instrumental ensemble that you may or may not be able to perform with at the end of the semester while you're currently trying to get things done for your major courses. I understand that there's a tremendous amount of stress that comes along with this, and I do not want to add to that. I would ask you that when you need to take a break, when you need to relax, go grab your instrument and play. Work to keep your chops in shape. If we do return on April 13th, that will make things easier for us to come together and prepare a concert. But I'm not going to make assignments for you to practice pieces or sections of pieces or anything like that. Now, if you are taking lessons, even if you're a non-major and you're studying privately, that will be slightly different. You will need to continue to practice your instrument and prepare for your lessons. All this does is this removes the stress of you worrying about preparing anything that I would have assigned for the large ensembles. For the Wind Symphony, for example, we have all of the music currently in your possession. In fact, Campus Band does as well. I've given you all of your music at the last rehearsal, so feasibly I could say practice this or practice that in hopes that we come back on April 13th and we play those. I don't think that that's prudent of me to do that at this point. I think that the most important thing for you at this point is for you to concentrate on your major subjects in the classes that are going towards your major. If you are studying privately, then I would ask that you practice and that you prepare for your lessons, because you will be expected to continue to take private lessons via Zoom or via the internet until which time we either come back to school in person or until which time we finish the semester. Other than that, though, I do not want to place those extra stresses on you. So as of right now, with large ensembles, everyone has a passing grade. Everyone will get a pass because you performed the most recent concert. For the music majors that are in the ensembles, if you are majoring in instrumental music education, or you are majoring in performance, instrumental performance on some instrument, or you are a music major and you are in one of our large instrumental ensembles, most importantly being the Wind Symphony or the Campus Community Band. Those two ensembles, as well as all of the ensembles that you are in, serve as laboratory environments for you to learn rehearsal techniques and how to be a band director or how to be an orchestra director. Therefore, there are a few things that the ones of you that are in these ensembles that are majors, that I'm going to create some lesson plans that will not be horribly time consuming, but they will attempt to be as informative as possible so that you can replace some of this lost laboratory time that you would have had sitting in these ensembles in a rehearsal environment, because that's where you learn how to rehearse. I believe that as a music major, while the other majors are concentrating on their major subjects, that this is something that we can be concentrating on so that hopefully it helps you along the line. I will assure you that these are not going to be anything that's going to be massively time consuming. Hopefully it's something that will just give you some things to think about, and we can work together from a distance until which time we return to school and we can continue to fill in some of those blanks. Let's see here. Your scholarships, if you are on an instrumental music activity scholarship, as long as you adhere to the things that we're laying out here as far as taking your lessons online, then your scholarships will not be affected. Those will remain as they are. No effect there whatsoever. A couple of items that I'm very, very distraught to have to tell you, but the first of those is that the Texas trip, the trip for the brass and percussion to open the concert for the Dallas Wind Symphony in March, will have to be postponed. The Dallas Wind Symphony has also canceled the remainder of their concert season due to the situation. However, we have a standing invitation that once the dates are in place for next season, that we will be the first people that they will call and figure out when we can come and play. So that will take place. It will just not take place until next year. In addition, the Wind Symphony recording project will unfortunately have to be postponed until next year as well. I have spent a tremendous amount of time over the past 3 to 4 days trying to figure out when and how we might be able to pull that off this year, primarily because that I feel so badly for our seniors that will be graduating this year. I know many of you had looked forward to having this capstone project as an ensemble member, and unfortunately I really just do not see how that we could pull that off in a fashion that would be done in a way that would be good for the ensemble as a whole. If we were, it would require extra rehearsals here and there, and that stresses that if we do return on April 13th, you really don't need. And I feel that although I hate that we have to postpone this, that it is just best that we wait until next year so that we can remove some of those stressors from you. In this email that you're receiving the link for this video, you're also going to receive the link to a questionnaire. This questionnaire is very important. It is important that you get on there and answer every question to the best of your ability. It contains some information that I need to get from you so that we can figure out what we need to do in the music department to enable you to meet these things that I've laid out here today, specifically your lessons requirements and different things like that. I know that you went home on spring break, and there's a good chance that you probably may have not even taken your instrument with you. And depending on where you live, whether it's close here in Sioux Center or whether you're halfway across the country, you may or may not be able to get back here to get it. So I need to find out some information from you so that we can aid you in having some way to be able to complete these lessons requirements and keep moving forward. We're moving at this in as positive a way that we can. We're not looking to find any way to penalize you if you don't have your instrument. What we want to do is just help you be able to get that instrument or get an instrument of some sort so that you will be able to practice. And with the way things are going, it sounds like many of us may spend a fair amount of time inside over the next few weeks. So I would encourage you to pick your instrument up and use it as a way to relax and calm yourself, because you'll be having the stresses of doing many of your other classes online, many of your academic classes. I'm also in the process of making a video both for you as well as for the applied instructors, for your private lessons instructors, on how to use Zoom. It will be narrated. I'll make sure that it's on there so that you can, as easily as possible, be able to download, install the software, and work with your private lessons instructors in order to get lessons set up so that you can continue. Please know that I, my family, all of the faculty here in the department and in the entire university are learning this as we go along. We never intended to teach the majority of our classes online, and I'm sure that you never intended to take the majority of them online. But unfortunately, this is the situation that we have been handed, and I know from having been here not quite a year yet, but having been around each and every one of you, that if any university community can handle this, it's the Dordt community. Yourselves, as well as your faculty members and the staff and the university administration here, some of the finest people that I've ever had the opportunity to know in my life. I'm incredibly blessed to be a part of this community, and if I had to go through this with anyone, I would choose to be here. If you have any questions along the way, I'm only an email or a phone call away. You can call me on my office phone, which is 712-722-6204. If I don't answer, please leave a message, because that gets immediately emailed to me, so I will get that and I will return your call as soon as possible. If it's something that's not time sensitive, you're more than welcome to email me. I'd love to hear from each and every one of you, and hopefully over the course of the coming weeks I will have an opportunity to speak with you, at least momentarily, on the phone. I would ask that you just keep us all in your prayers. It's an interesting and upsetting, a time filled with angst with what's going on in our world right now. However, I think we are better equipped than most to deal with this because of our faith. We all know that God has this in the palm of His hand. He has a master plan. Whatever that might be, it is all for the ultimate good of what He holds in His will, and we know that. So I would just ask that you keep that in mind, keep your chin up, find ways to do the best that you can and make the best situation out of this that you can, and know that each and every one of us here are here to help you in any way that we can. And all you have to do is ask. I'll continue to be in contact via email with more information as information comes available. But this should get us started in the fact that I'm hoping the goal is that we will resume somewhat normal operations on this coming Monday. As far as everything being online, you'll be able to have your lessons set up and ready to go by then, and we'll be able to move forward as best as we can. Again, just keep praying, and God's got this, I have no doubt. Thank you so much for the people that you are and the things that you have offered. I'm so grateful for the chance to not only get to make music with each of you, but to get to know each of you. You are truly a light in my life, and I look forward to the time coming when all of us can be back together making music together again. I will be in touch. God bless.